All right, Rowlan, what's up, brother?
What's up, bro? How are you, man?
Good, man. Happy to be here. I appreciate you taking the time.
Absolutely happy to be here. Happy to be here, man.
It's cool. I've followed your movement for a while, so it's dope to get on the ground level with you.
It's dope to hear that you've been following me for such a long time. I love when people can tell me like, oh, I saw you at this part, now here. Like, I just imagine how cool it must be from the outside looking in to watch that. And it's just cool for me to be able to say like, people have been here for the journey with me, you know?
Yeah, and it's quite a journey you've been on.
Man, I swear, I knew when you said I've been on you for a while, I was like, I have to meet this dude for sure.
When you were originally coming up over on the East Coast in Boston, it's a little bit of a different vibe out there.
Oh, for sure.
What was the strategy coming out to LA? What prompted that decision?
Yeah, so I originally had come out here for something like called the Team Backpack thing. Did you hear about that?
Oh yeah.
I was like, yeah, let's do this Team Backpack thing. I came out here and I was just like, this is where the music business is, LA. So I was just like, you know what? I'm going out there for the Team Backpack thing. I told my girl at the time, I was like, let's sign a lease out there. Let's move out there. I know where I need to be to meet the right people, to make the right connections, to be inspired, to grow, to be uncomfortable. You know, I know where I need to be, and it was LA. So that's what prompted this decision ultimately.
Okay, since you've been out here with that strategy in mind, what challenges have you faced?
Yeah, I would say it's different than I expected it to be, just because, I mean, kind of the image for everybody, or every dreamer, I should say, is you're gonna move out to LA, you're gonna be this, there, you're gonna be here, you're gonna be there, you're gonna meet the right person, they're gonna hear your music, they're gonna wanna fully put what their brand has built behind you and help you get to the top. It was nothing like that. This is 5 years later, and I'm in a way better place, living off purely music, but it's still not how I thought it was going to go. I get noticed places publicly, which is amazing, which still feels really cool to me, but I'm not like a famous rich person.
I can imagine as an independent artist, that's pretty much everyone's dream, right? Is to be living off your art.
Literally, that's why I could say I never sleep on gratitude for that reason. Like, dude, every single morning, I'm like, yo, honestly, if I ever have a thing that I don't think went that well, I'm like, this shit, I'm like, I'm living off my music in fucking studios. I'm like, what do I have to complain about? Like, truthfully, you know?
I see you all working with a lot of other indie artists, people who are doing their own thing. Do you think that that's the future, networking-wise, as independent artists, or do you think that ultimately the industry and like a record label is where you would find your home?
I think that the record label is kind of like a cheat code and a shortcut in a lot of ways, and that's not to put any negative demeanor on it, because I think it's a great thing. I'm just saying like that they have the ability to be like, you're at the top of hip hop. As to on an independent grind, you have to pick what your next chess move is. You have to find every component yourself and put the budget together. You know, so when it comes to that, I think the label is an amazing thing to have behind you, because it's kind of like a cheat code, and if you're at the right point in your career and you have the right amount of bartering power, then you'll be good. But if you don't, if you can't bring them value, and if you don't have the right level behind you and the right backing, then it'll just eat you alive.
Word, so the future is we rollin', independent,
yeah,
LA, and find maybe a home base?
I would say probably independent and just doing my own thing, or if I get to a certain place in the next couple months, years, then I'll sign if it's the appropriate deal. But I mean, independent's how I see myself. I like to do all my own artwork. I like to do all my own interviews. I like to do all my own like mixing, mastering, production. So like if I could have it my way, I'd be sitting in my house for the rest of my life just creating. When I create a song in my house, there's nothing like the passion behind it, you know? I'm just zoning.